What's up, guys, and welcome to my speculation video, hypothetical video on Pokemon Sword and Shield. So today, it it happened. Gen 8 was released, and I was there to watch the direct, and then afterwards I crashed. But I'm here to tell you guys what I actually saw in there. Not my first impressions, but actually after watching it multiple times over, and then also just watching a lot of other people's like reactions to it. It gave me some insight on how people were thinking about the actual game. So let's get started with the starters. So we have Score Bunny, which is the fire starter Pokemon. Next we have Gorky, Gorky. I think that is what it is. It's the grass starter, the little monkey kind of thing. Then we have Sobly, which I do believe is the water Pokemon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the grass and water properly, but I do know I am pronouncing Scorby spot on. So these are going to be our starters. We know next to nothing about their evolutions. I really want to see what their shiny forms are going to look like. I think their shiny forms are going to be phenomenal. Next, I want to talk about the random encountering of Pokemon. As we saw in the very first trailer, we are not seeing overworld Pokemon. We are not seeing Pokemon following us. We saw the main character, the main protagonist, sneaking in the grass and encountering a wild Pikachu. This is essentially what we all know from past games, next to not including Let's Go Pikachu. It's been random encounters throughout the whole Pokemon generation until Let's Go Pikachu came out, and we were hoping they would keep that in, but it may look like we're not going to be getting that. But again, this was just the first trailer. It is possible that we are going to get that, just they're not going to show it up front because we already got that in Let's Go Pikachu. They might want to save it until later on to let us know, hey, you're going to be getting this, have fun. Next, I want to talk about the main characters themselves. So I've heard I've been hearing, not rumors, but I've been hearing people say that it looks like the Sun and Moon character, and while yes, it kind of does, with the new format and the new like textures of everything, it does give it a different look and different feel of the character. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to customize our character in multiple ways, because I'm not really like interested in having that box squared backpack on me. And the clothes themselves, they don't look that good in my opinion. I like to customize my character in like black or red clothes. While the main character for the male does have red clothes, it just doesn't fit my style. So I'm hoping that they will introduce the feature of customizing the character and being able to just allow us to have our own personal characteristics going into our main protagonist. Next, let's talk about gyms. Gyms are coming back. We knew that the Alolan region was the only region as of right now that we're only going to be able to do the non-gym feature, because that was their whole gimmick. They're not gyms, they're trials and whatnot, and that it was just going to stay there, and it wasn't going to impact any other games so far as we know. It may impact a future game, but for now, we're going to stick with gyms. We have our gyms back, and I'm happy. I enjoy the gym system. Some people enjoy the trial system. I personally enjoy the gym system, so I'm glad they're coming back. All right, now let's talk about the Pokedex itself. So I don't think, because of what was shown in the trailer, we're seeing many different Pokemon from many different generations in here. So I don't think it's going to be like Black and White and Black and White 2, where we get 90% brand new Pokemon and just a handful of older Pokemon like Pikachu and those kind of Pokemon, because they're iconic and all that. I think we're going to get like what we had with X and Y, where it was a handful or a good amount of brand new Pokemon, but they combined the Pokedex with many different generations. So it's going to be a collaboration of different generations in the Pokedex. I think they're going to continue on with not having the complete Pokedex with 800 plus Pokemon that you have to register in the Pokedex to be able to complete your Pokedex. I think they're going to they're actually going to go away from that, and what they did in Sun and Moon was actually really smart. It allowed everybody the chance to be able to complete their Pokedex fairly easily. And if for shiny hunters, if they wanted to complete their Pokedex to get the shiny charm, it was actually pretty easy to do so. If they went and made it to where you had to complete the whole Pokedex with all 800 plus Pokemon, it would take a ridiculous amount of time, and honestly that would be a bad move on their part, in my opinion. Next, let's talk about HMs and Alolan using the ride Pokemon. So in the Alolan region, we had the ride Pokemon where we didn't have to have cutters, we didn't have to have flyers, and even in Let's Go Pikachu, we didn't have to have any of that, because our partner Pokemon Pikachu and or Eevee, depending on which game you use, had all those abilities that you learned throughout the game, and you didn't have to like strategize your team depending on whether or not you're going to have a team member have an HM. I think because Sun and Moon introduced these ride Pokemon and not having to have HM slaves and HM users, they're probably going to stray away from that, because everybody loved that. Nobody cared to have HM users, because it just muddied up the team of 6 that would have been the perfect team for them. It made it to where you had to have certain Pokemon on your team to be able to even do anything to proceed in the story. So I think that's just gonna be gone forever. And I personally am happy with that, because whenever I played Sun and Moon, I played with Pokemon that I enjoyed having on my team. And while 1 or 2 of them could have had HMs, it would have been like 3 to 4 different Pokemon that I would have had to have for HM moves, and it would have just been a complete muddy of my team. It wouldn't have made me really enjoy Pokemon Sun as much as I did. And yeah, I think that is everything I can actually think of. Alright, I actually did think of something. We're going to talk about one last thing, and that is going to be the Elite Four. So there is a fan-made game called Pokemon Uranium, and in that, instead of an Elite Four with a champion, what happens is you go through a tournament to battle random NPCs and try and defeat each one of them up into the point where you go and face the final 2 people, or final 2 competitors, and then whoever wins becomes the champion, or whoever wins gets to face the champion. But in Uranium, it did happen a little differently because certain story aspects did prevent the final tournament to proceed as normal. So if they did it this way, it would just be incredible, because it would literally break how conventional Pokemon games are being done, and it gives us a different, like, in-game kind of thing. You can go into the Elite Four or the tournament and face many different NPCs, each time being a different battle experience. So I think that is going to be everything that I want to talk about in this video. If you guys have anything that you speculate is going to be in this in Generation 8, or what you want to be in Generation 8, let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear or read what you guys speculate or would love to see in the new games. But that is going to be it for me. Have a wonderful day or night, depending on where you are in the world and when you are watching this. Bye.